G'day viewers, welcome back to another video. I don't know if this is going to interest many of you, but I thought I'd give it a shot. I'm going to give you a walk around my prospecting truck. I'll just turn the camera around. So what you're looking at is a Land Rover Defender 130. The 130 means the wheelbase. Standard long wheelbase four-wheel drive is roughly 110 inches from the center of that wheel to the center of that wheel, and what we call in Australia a vehicle with a tub like this or a flatbed tray, we call them a ute, short for utility. When you have a standard long wheelbase and it's a dual cab ute, you find either a large ute body and a tiny little section you wouldn't even be able to fit kids in there, or another back door, normal size back door with a tiny little ute. So by having a 130, it's 20 inches longer. I can have a standard size back door and back seat and a standard size tub. Now it's got a roof rack, so I can carry lots of stuff on there. I'll just walk around the other side. It's got a roobar. Well, actually this is more of a bullbar than a roobar. It's got a winch. It's got a bar light which gives me plenty of light at night time. It's got a UHF radio, so I can get in touch with anybody if I'm in trouble, like I can get hold of trucks or whatever. It's got a snorkel and a bit of a squeeze down here. It's got a roll-out awning which comes out a fair way, and once it's pulled out, say I think it's about 3 meters, I've also got a drop down a tent that goes up underneath and clips onto it. It's called an awning tent. If I'm going away for 1 or 2 nights or so, I'll use that. And inside the back here I've got a deep cycle marine battery, space for my tools. I've got a 1500 watt power inverter so that I can turn 12 volt into 240 volt and have normal power out in the bush. I've got this meter box, power box, and it's got fuses on the outside, nice and easy to get to, and it's got pretty much every kind of switch you would ever want. Anything that plugs into it, whether it be a fridge or whatever, and it's got all the different ports here, and it's got these sub plugs as well. So basically anything I want to plug in I can just clip in here. The power inverter has a USB. There's also on the battery box there's more plugs. I haven't quite finished installing this yet because I haven't got enough of the right wire to reach across, but it's a project in the making. What else was I going to show you? I've got a really good battery air compressor in case I need to let my tyres down or whatever out in the bush. Now my main game here is to be able to be hundreds and hundreds of kilometres from the nearest sign of civilian life out in the outback of Australia and be able to cope. So I've got, there's more plugs in here. Is there anything I want to be able to plug in, there's a plug hole for it. So I want to be able to be self-sufficient, I suppose would be the word, to go out in the middle of nowhere, miles from help, and cope. Now, on the back here, rolled up here, now this Duvalaki here, I think is called a power converter, solar charge controller. So this will plug into a solar panel. I've actually got very large solar panels from the roof of a house. I've got 2 of them which I haven't yet installed. They plug onto here. and I've got plenty of wire, so I can, if I need to, take them off the car and position them in camp somewhere where the sun's shining, if I'm parked under a tree or something. And the wire comes down and into here and into the battery power box, so I'll have solar power going to here all the time, which will in turn charge my battery box here, so that the deep cycle battery never runs flat. Failing that, I've got a normal car battery charger. Now I know this sounds weird, but the power inverter would be getting charged power from the battery box or from the solar panel. I can plug in the car battery charger into here and use it to power my battery. I've actually used it in that same sort of situation where I was 300 kilometers from home, and my main car battery, which is under my passenger seat, went flat because my alternator stopped working. And normally you wouldn't be able to drive very far, but I was able to put my car charger on this battery to power it and have it charging my main car battery, and I was able to drive home. Now you'll notice the driver's side is on the correct side of the road, because here in Australia we drive on the correct side of the road. So that's pretty much this side of things. Now, as I've stated in my last few videos, I've blown the motor up. Well, I wouldn't say blowing it up, the rings are shot. There's a dog next door barking. Now, apart from the fact that mine's not working, this is a 2.5 litre diesel motor, and it's known to be the best, most reliable motor that Land Rover have ever made. There's no computer. I would never ever have a car with a computer. As I said before, I want to be out hundreds and hundreds of kilometres where no one's ever looked for gold and not have any problems. Now, if you've got a car with a computer and something goes wrong and the computer goes into limp mode, and you need a computer to fix the computer, this is a very basic motor, and 9 times out of 10 it just keeps going and going and going. I've had this car for 11 years and it's done, I think, 480,000 kilometres, so almost 500,000 kilometres. And I've known someone who's got his Land Rover has done 700,000 or 800,000 kilometres. So these motors are pretty good. I'm pretty sure that most people would agree, nearly 500,000 kilometres. This is the original motor. It's not bad. Now, having a few problems now after all those kilometres is quite acceptable, I would believe. So I'm in a pickle because if you buy a second-hand motor, you don't know what quality it's like. I haven't got the money for a new one, but a friend of ours has got a Land Rover Discovery with this same motor in it, and he can't believe how powerful it is. He says it really goes like a rocket, never leaks, never has any problems. But the actual Discovery itself is not worth $2. It's all bent and twisted and scratched and unregistered, and it's garbage. I wouldn't normally pay more than $5 for it, because I mean, I'm talking it's a real bucket of rust. But because the motor's really good, and because we know him and we actually know that this motor is a good motor, he wants $3,000 for the car. I'm not too happy about that, because as a car it's not worth $3,000, but the motor is, and it's my cheapest option, buying a second-hand motor that I know is going to be good. So that's why I've stated in my videos that I'm trying to rake up $3,000 for a motor. On the plus side, I'd then be able to sell the gearbox and transfer case and or any other bits that might be worth $1, try and recoup some of my money. So I'll put the bonnet down again and I'll keep going. Okay, so that's pretty much enough to get me by for an overnight camp or a couple of night camp. However, if I decided to go longer, here I have a camper trailer. It's got ample storage in the front, 80 litre water tank underneath the trailer with a tap here. On the back it's got a, probably can't see, there's a slide out drawer which slides out, and it's got the kitchen, gas stove. This cover comes off and this pops right out over, and it fits a double bed on the mattress, on the trailer, and then you've got your living area once this comes out. Sorry about the dog barking. So now with this I can go away for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I have inside, stupid dog, I have inside a 80 litre fridge freezer. It's got 2 doors. One door you can lift up and have fridge, the other one you can have freezer, or you can have them as both fridge or both freezer. 80 litres, that means I can take enough meat, milk, butter, things like that for 2 or 3 weeks easily. So I can really afford to go places where the average person just doesn't go. I mean, there's a lot of outback in Australia where people have never been before, and not many people are equipped to go so far. Once I get my motor going again, that's where I'll be heading. A friend of mine has a lease 300 kilometres away from the city that I live in. They found gold there before, and he's been inviting me to go there, but can't get my car working yet. Once I get it on the road, we'll be heading there, and I'll be making some videos on that. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's pretty much the rundown of my truck. Got a good solid tow bar at the back. I don't know what else to show you really. So, you know, I don't know if that's interested you guys or whether you think it's pretty boring, but I don't know, might be some car buffs out there that are interested. So until I have another video ready, I guess it's bye for now. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.